If you study anything of the quotes of the great speakers, it doesn't matter who you listen to. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter how great is the applause or how strong are the boos. How strong are the boos or the dissenters that changed their minds by 1660 over Oliver Cromwell, who had died 2 years older in 1558 of relatively natural causes. It does not matter what they say they will dig out of Westminster Abbey and rebury at Tyburn, or who they hanged and who they didn't hang. It does not matter, does it, what the speaker says? Is it what the speaker does that counts? Or is it what the speaker has left unsaid that would be less popular that leads to this as Shakespeare put it, nature of our discontent? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? If you were this animal, let us call you animal voter. You are shown what you claim or think to be is very respectful of your leader. Suppose your leader was Benjamin Disraeli. Your publicity of, for instance, the shares in the Suez Canal would be to some extent by your speeches overriding the question of whether the young people of London were starving, wouldn't it? And the question would be in your mind, would you be doing that or making that speech deliberately to turn the attention to the Suez Canal shares away from the struggles of the poor in London? Or would you have been doing it to make your country wealthy? I see. This is lovely. This is very intuitive, if I may say, Senorita. Have you any other interesting thought on how we can achieve for you the purchase on eBay? Yes. If you look at the life of the individual scholar from, let us take it from 1485 at Bosworth. How are you going to get your education? Supposing you have a statesman who says, I mean, did Hitler, for instance, did Hitler or Mussolini ever say to the people, if you do not get your schools, forgive me, I'm thinking of this eBay item, if you did not get your school to carry out the education which you claim, you are expecting, or were in the case of Mussolini, and were they expecting this in 1920s in the states of the new Germany, which Britain does not surely understand, was a Germany which was only created from the Prussia of previous to Kaiser Wilhelm I, who approached the question of German unification or Prussian reunification in 1861 that was manifestly achieved, let us say, by 1871, the Treaty of Sedan, when Paris had been surrounded and starved in 1870, and indeed France was suffering because it had lost its ability to maintain itself in the American Civil War of 1862-5, whereas Marshal Bazaine was executed. I mean, wouldn't you, if you were a speaker or your name was Hitler, you would fight for those values which you would say to your people, yes, we will lock them up, or somebody once said recently, oh yes, we will stop the schools preaching hate. Yes. In this speech that we hear, there was not one statement about the things which expedited the changes, for instance, of monarchy since the field of Bosworth, where Richard III was slain by the forces of King Henry VII, was by any degree an unanswered question, where the principal characters, those who had been regarded by Edward V, who were going to be looked after, the princes in the Tower I'm referring to, we do not, and has, as I understand it, never been told the truth over what happened to them. And you question whether you were told the truth over what was alleged by Hitler to have been stating to the pressure that was created by the forefather chancellors in the names of Frederick III in 1888, who had a very brief and then the cessation of power of only some months as Emperor of Germany, leading to the replacement by Kaiser, as you know, Wilhelm II, who was the relation of Queen Victoria, English Queen Victoria. That you would stand at Tilbury. Let us call it Tilbury. We know that it's called Tilbury, but let us call it Tilbury, a place that never moves. This in 1588, when England was being approached by what was called, or said to be, the Spanish Armada. Tilbury was the state of English interpretation to monarchy that was sold the idea that somehow the Queen was a virgin. What was she a virgin to? Was she a virgin to the idea that she could not fight? No. This Queen stood up at Tilbury and regarding the Duke of Parma and the Spanish army of Alexander the Farnese, might have yet worried about whose attempt to invade from Dunkirk, but they were approaching the south coast of England, somewhere near Plymouth, and the Battle of Gray's Lines. They are the ones, aren't they, where the Spanish Armada had been driven from the Strait of Dover. And these she is alleged to have said in this speech at Tilbury, I have the heart of a mind and the stomach of a snake. No, I don't think she say that, Signorina. She say, I have the heart of a man
and the stomach of a lion.
Oh, forgive me, but I don't think she said that. I think she said, I have the heart of a lion, and I have the stomach of a man. Yes. So, my loving people, her speech was, and I quote it, my loving people, we have been persuaded by some time we are careful of our safety to take heed how we commit ourselves to our armed multitude. The fear of treachery, but I assure you I do not desire to live to distrust my faithful and loving people, no. But remember who was this woman's father, King Henry VIII, who had been in some misappropriation of some 6 wives, who had slaughtered Thomas Cromwell and another Thomas, whose name escaped me, and had also executed Anne Boleyn, had married also a German who was in keeping with the throne of England, which was very different of Germany to the time. Because if you think about it, Anne of Cleves could not have been German, because Germany was not invented until 1860. 61 in German unification. Coming back to the speech, I have always behaved so myself that under God I place this, my chiefest strength and safeguard in the loyal hearts and goodwill of my subjects. And therefore I am come among you, as you see at this time, not for my creation and report, by being a resolve in the midst of the heel of battle to live and die amongst you all, to lay down for my God and my kingdom and my people, my honor and my blood, even in the dust. Did you study this speech? You studied, you heard it. And what happened to her? Did she die in the dust? No. No, it's words. It's words. And goes on to say, I know I have the body of a weak, feeble woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king. And a king of English too. England too. And think foul scorn that Parma or Spain or any prince of Europe should dare to invade the borders of my realm. Yes, she is going to say that, isn't it? When Philip had the failed love attempt with her sister, who was Mary the First of England, who, such a strong Catholic, was known as Bloody Mary. I mean, you would say that, wouldn't you? And then goes on to say, any prince of Europe who would dare to invade the borders of my realm, to which, rather than any dishonour shall grow by me, I myself shall take up arms. I myself will be your general judge and rewarder of every one of your virtues in the field, yes. But if you remember that only 103 years before the 1588 field, which was now at sea, your people had been overtaken by the King Richard III, who had been slain by the forces. This wonderful French history of monarchy had been slain in the field of Bosworth. And she ends up this speech and says, wonderful speech, but frankly, I do not believe one word of it. I know, too, that I have the weak, the feeble woman. I have the heart and stomach of a king, and the mind and the king of the body of England, too. And then it ends by saying, I know already for your forwardness you have deserved rewards and crowns, and we do assure you, on a word of the prince, they shall be duly paid. In the meantime, yes, time is mean, isn't it? And how they change politics by stating it after the event, and how strong they were and what they said. In retrospect, it's called hindsight. You have to know how to use time, don't you, as a politician? Or worthy subjects, not doubting but your obedience to my general, your concord in the camp, and your valour in the field, we shall shortly have a famous victory over these enemies of my God, and my kingdom, and my people. That's it, isn't it? That sums it up.